right, the obligatory year-end top games of whatever current year is list. Before I begin, I want to give you guys a little bit of criteria that I use to make these choices. First of all, I've had to have played the game. And I know this sounds really self-explanatory, but it's amazing how many people just throw games on their year-end list because they think they should, and they either didn't play it at all or they played it very minimally. So if your favorite game is not on this list, it's probably because I wasn't given a review code for it. I just wasn't exposed. The other criteria I put in, and this is just me, no slight against these sort of games, but I only selected games with substantial gameplay elements, so no walking novels with minimal combat. Finally, my final criteria is that I had to have not received any compensation beyond a review code for the title. And on that note, I want to give an honorable mention to Gears of War 4. I really enjoyed this game, but I didn't feel right including it officially on my best of list because I got paid to write a promotional article about it. I'm not trying to punish the game for that. It's amazing, but I don't think it's helpful to me or the game to compromise the credibility of my opinions because of a top 5 list. So I enjoyed Gears 4 despite the flaws I thought it had. It's a really fun game, and I'll leave it there. Now, on to the list. Number 5, RimWorld. I got a code for this game because of a lot of reviewer requests and some controversy, and you guys were right. Even though it's in early access and lacking some features, I'm still having a blast with it. I keep coming back to it again and again and again. I play it while I'm watching TV. If it wasn't on my desktop PC, I'd play it in the bathroom. It's a game I can play over and over and over again because of the sheer crazy stuff that happens. And it has cats. That's important. Number 4 is The Last Guardian. People either love or hate this game, and that's because it's an experience very similar to herding a giant cat. I personally loved having to negotiate and cajole Trico instead of controlling her. And yes, Trico in my mind is a her because of certain features that are lacking in her mammalian hindquarters. The Last Guardian is a beautiful interactive friendship, and it's easy to pick it apart, but it managed to be poignant without being cloying. The life and death cycle in the game is a glorious metaphor for the bittersweet aspects of pet ownership, and this game is officially Momo approved. Number 3, Watch Dogs 2. Rarely does a game prove that a title can be relevant, socially progressive, and a huge amount of stupid fun all at once. Watch Dogs 2 does that better than any game this year. The driving was much improved, the hacking mechanics felt a lot less gimmicky than the first, but what surprised me most was how funny it was and how good the characters were. And the poop emoji boxer shorts. I want a pair of those. Number 2, Doom. Do I really need to say why Doom is on this list? It's fun. It's just fun. My god, is it punchy, splattery, gloriously violent, bloody, fun. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. It's such wonderful catharsis. Halo what? Call of who? Doom is still the definitive first-person shooter franchise. This is the only game on this list I didn't get a review code for, and I don't regret the purchase in the slightest. It was a ridiculous amount of fun. But my favorite game of 2016 was Far Cry Primal. If I laid out all the reasons I love Far Cry Primal, it would sound really cliche and politically correct. And yeah, I've played other games with diversity in them, and it just didn't work for me. It wasn't that the cast was primarily people of color. It's that they were so damned good in their roles. Every single character played their part and managed to present a game in a hypothetical language that no one currently speaks that was still emotionally resonant. Some people complained about the simplicity of the plot, but I preferred that to the nihilism of Far Cry 4. Food, shelter, warmth, and safety are real problems, and the tribal conflicts that are central to the game make a gentle, subtle commentary on the current, very dumb strife in gaming. But the real reason I loved Primal was the gameplay. Between the Beastmaster system that gave me animal buddies and a first-person melee-driven game I actually found fun to play, I spent so much time just mucking around in that world with badgers, wolves, and saber-toothed tigers. It wasn't about the story. It wasn't about firm objectives. Far Cry Primal is that rare gem of a game where the sandbox gameplay feels meaningful and fun totally on its own. And I set a lot of things on fire.